You came looking for a contractor, right? I think you
never worked with an interior designer before. And
then I was really frustrated, and I told you to stop calling me and Oh, Sonia, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with BLAK Interiors. I think it's being now, you promised me to do this a year ago. We completed your house at least like 1.5 years ago, if not more. I think so, right? Around that. And it's always been in our mind to do this. But life gets very hectic and very busy, and I'm sorry for taking so long to actually coming around to do it.
I'm glad you came now.
Exactly. So we're always waiting as well to the weather to get better. So, right. So the reason why we're here, as we discussed before, is that I just want to, have you to answer the concerns and questions that our clients, potential clients, are always having with us when they first meet me and BLAK Interiors. I just want you tell us what was your experience working with BLAK. So from the first question that I would like to ask you, how was your first impression? What was the first thing that came to your mind when we first met our team? I think you came looking for a contractor, right?
No, I came to look for interior design.
Yes, was it? Okay.
Contractor was the second part, but first.
So first the interior design. Yes. So how was your first impression?
Excellent. I loved meeting you that time only, and the positivity you gave me, and the ideas you came up with, on the first meeting itself. I loved it. When I came back home, my husband was a little apprehensive that I will be able to do it, but no. I said no, the ideas he has, you got to meet him, and we need to sit down because he is the perfect guy who will be doing this.
Okay. I mean, elaborate a little bit more on the fact that what was the concerns that Rajesh, your husband, had? What was his main worries about working with an interior designer and architect?
See, we never worked with an interior designer before, and I had no idea what work you actually do, what you bring on the plate. And we had our own place before this house, and we renovated that house all by ourselves. We had just hired a contractor, and we gave them our ideas, do this, do that, and they did it. And but I knew that where we failed in that house. So this time when we bought this property, and I knew this is my dream home, so I don't wanted to make those mistakes. I wanted a person who brings professionalism and a perfect idea to bring it from house to home. And that's why I needed a interior designer. And I know I visited a random neighbor who renovated their 2E, and I just went to see their house, and he was the right guy. I think he's one of the property agent, and he said, I will give you the right person. And he gave me your contact details, and I came to see you. The time I met you, I knew that I'm going to hire you. But when I told all this idea to Rajesh, and he said, no, I will be able to do it. We don't need interior designer. Our ideas will clash, and we will not be on the same page. This will happen, that will happen. But I fought for you. I remember I said, no, this time I'm not going to do the same mistake what I did earlier. And that's how you came on board. And I don't regret it. I don't regret any single moment, being with as a BLAK Interiors. So
obviously, thank you so much, by the way. And the feeling is mutual. From the first time I met you guys, I was like, these clients. I could see it. I could see that we could have a really good energy and do some great work together. But my question to you is, obviously during the project, once we went through the stages of concept design and design development and doing all the renders and everything and iterating the ideas, it's always a collaboration, right? And we contributed a lot. You guys shared what you liked, what you didn't like, and we came back with our solutions to every problem. But during the project, tell us if there was any moment that you're like, oh no, this wasn't a good idea. How did you feel that, okay, we have a challenge. How did we deal with the challenge? during the project? Because obviously, like, we had some, you know, hesitations sometimes, some issues, some challenges that every project faces. Give us any kind of indication of what was a challenge for you during the project and how did you deal with it?
See, any journey, it's not all flowers, you know. It's, there will be some ups, there will be some downs. If somebody says that everything went smoothly, I am telling you 100% they are lying. It's not like, and building a home, it's not an easy process. And there were many hiccups we faced, during this. I will tell you regarding, you designed the entire renders were ready, everything. And I remember I brought you the Vastu consultant on board. And she changed many things. She said, this will not go here, that will not go here, the bed will not go this side, you need to change this. The kitchen was a big thing for her. But you were very smooth, you were very flexible. You never said, no, this can't be done. Okay, you always were very positive and said, no, we will figure it out, we'll do something. Such many things were there, but I remember because Vastu and the interior, they go side by side. And maybe it was for you, it was first time to work with Vastu.
Third time, not okay. The first time that we had that much involvement.
Yeah, and it becomes very challenging when a house is already built, then making a Vastu changes, it becomes very difficult. And our renders were already ready. And asking you to change those renders, it was an extra work for you. But you happily did it. You never said no to me. That was the biggest thing. Yeah. So
you don't know this, but Rajesh paid me extra for that. But
I don't know. That's right. I know you would have done it without money also. So I will not take that.
No, of course.
Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously, it comes with challenges, and I think that was a challenge that we always learn from it. So apart from the challenge of the Vastu, is there any other time that you feel, okay, there was some decisions that you guys made that in hindsight, now with the experience that you have, would you have reconsidered? For example, the choice of contractor sometimes, you know, I know that you guys went with your contractor of choice. Would you reconsider and would you be open to, you know, working with a contractor that we have worked with in the past, potentially? Do you think that that's something that you would have done differently?
Definitely you would have made a big difference if I would have gone with your choice. But you know, I still feel like that the contractors who are claiming that we will finish this project in 3 months time, and the contractors who are saying that okay, we will be also finished in time, but I know that they will not. It would have been, it's very dicey thing to say, but I think it would have been a wise idea if I would have chosen your contractor, because we were sitting on a budget, and our budget allowed us that okay, maybe we need to find someone who is going to suit to our project. So that's why we chose our own contractor, and we ended up paying price in terms of time. So that was the biggest setback for this project. That was the biggest setback. And if you would have gone with your contractor, I'm sure, 100% sure, the project, maybe maximum delay would have been a month, not more than that, keeping in mind
as you mentioned yourself, you know, a construction project has many facets, you know, and many things that could potentially go wrong, and we did have challenges that were beyond the contractor's control. I agree, but obviously, like, when we're working with projects all the time, you know, it's not that we're not a contracting company, but we have partnered up with these teams that they have delivered work with us before. They know how particular we are about details and about finishings, and that could have alleviated it. But thank you so much for being forthcoming and sharing us your experience. So apart from that, let's talk more about any decisions that we made, any suggestions that BLAK have made that you were not thinking about it, that was important. Was it anything any highlights to the project? Any things that when you have friends and family coming over and they make comments to certain areas, just give us a few examples so we can now show.
This house, I mean, it's a blessing from BLAK Interiors. I'm telling you. Every unknown person also steps in this house and they are in awe and wow. I'm telling you, till today, if anybody will come and they say we have not seen any house in Springs like this, that this villa can be turned in this way. If we take this by for, it was your idea. These windows, viewing outside to the swimming pool, it was your idea. You know, we are sitting here watching TV, and at the same time we are getting a view of nature as well. Beautiful idea. Having the door there next to the dining area, that was your idea, to bring more light in and the more freshness in. And pivot door was your idea. I mean, I can countlessly keep on counting. There were many things you brought to the table, and I'm telling you, this house, everybody wants to know your number. I've given God knows to how many people.
And thank you so much.
I'm blessed. Thank you, and thank you for that, because the people, they are amazed to see this house. So
thank you. Thanks so much. And let's talk more about, I'd like to talk about that aspect of that, because I feel that we need to be really, really transparent about our process. And let's talk about the day that you sent me a message about the planter that was being too high, and then I was really, really frustrated, and I told you to stop calling me and let me finish my work. But I mean, it happens, right? Because I think the reality of the project is that sometimes I had to put my foot down, and as much as we can listen to your needs and understand your requirements, during the project execution, especially during the final phase, that's very stressful because you just want to move in, right? And then you see a few things that you want to address. And let's talk to more about the planters, that you're like, Kayo, this is too high, this is not the right height. And then what was it? What was your first reaction? And then,
see, as an interior designer, what you see, the potential you see in this project, I'm not seeing. I'm just a client who wants a beautiful home, but I don't see how to reach there. How to bring that beauty from that house. When the planter box you design, and I was like, how it is possible to bring this planter box this high? I have never seen this kind of planter box. So I was really frustrated. First the project was delayed, and but you were still on the project. Your contract, I think it was for 3 months only, but you were still on the project and you were helping us out. And when this outside work was going on, this planter box, and I'm like, I'm not getting that vibe. Why this planter box is this big and of the same color of the behind wall? So I was like, I'm not liking this idea, and I messaged you, and I don't know what conversation or argument we had. But I do remember I wrote a big message to you after that, which I never sent to you. But once it was complete, that's when I came to know, okay, this was the biggest reason why he was saying this is how it's supposed to be. So sometimes, you need to trust the process. You need to trust your, the person you have hired, because they have done their, research and development in this. They are the experts. So we need to trust the person who is has got their, expertise in that. You don't need to put your head into it. So I'm glad I trusted you, and the planter box we made the way you wanted it to. But I was not with the idea at first. So
no, I mean, it's like, I love that story, because to me it's like, this process and this is always, it requires a lot of iteration and a lot of decisions from both sides. I think a successful project is about the designer and the client and the contractor, right? And also the right materials, thinking about ensure that there is, all the decisions are made. However, it's always a collaboration, and I love to hear that story, because it happens in many projects, most of the projects, that these situations may arise. But thank you for sharing your experience.
There is one more. Like when you introduced that we will be putting porcelain 60 by 120 tile out in the swimming pool, I was like, my God, who does that? I have never seen any swimming pool like that. I was about like those mosaic tiles, we will be putting.
You
And
thought the tiles are gonna come up.
I was like, I will be slipping. Either I will slip down in the pool or the tile will come up. And then you call the guy from expert from MAPE,
Yeah.
and he explained us. And then you said, Sonia, please go ahead with this idea. And today pool is excellent.
Right.
That was the best idea, I think. So there were many things, countless things where your ideas were, fresh, perfect, and on point. That's why we should trust an expert only when it comes to when you are designing a home and you want to live there, you want to make memories there. That's why you need a right person to be there, not just a random person who will come and do, or you do your own things until unless you have the proper knowledge about it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you were there.
Thank you. It's interesting because, obviously, like my own mom doesn't understand what I do.
Yeah.
Just when I tell her that, mom, like I'm an interior designer, I'm working as an interior designer in Dubai. And my mom is like, what do you mean? Like, well, like I design people's homes, like I look into helping them select their layouts inside their home, make sure that their bathrooms are located in the right side, make sure that, and she was like, well, but wait, but people don't know what they want,
Exactly.
So it's normal. Like, coming from Brazil, it's a profession that sometimes gets left behind, but unfortunately, people, when you have a heart issue, you go to a cardiologist. When they have issues with the law, they seek the advice of a lawyer. But then when they go into a renovation, they think, oh no, I know how to do it. But then, as we know, it's not always turned out to be the way that we expected without having. And that's, I tell everyone, if you're going through a renovation, even if you don't hire anyone from Black Interiors, hire a professional interior designer. Just work with someone that's going to actually help you, bring your visions to life in a professional manner that's going to avoid you a lot of headache later. So what else can we talk about? We talked about your experience. We talk about, the hiccups that we had along the way. We talk about the highlights and the values that you highlight to your friends and family when they come to see you. Is there anything else about the experience that you'd like to share with us? Is there anything about, for example, any afterthoughts that you had, few months into living in a home? Anything else that we haven't covered yet?
No, I would like to mention this, that when we hired you, you came on board, you brought so many ideas. That was our choice. You always gave us space that, okay, at the end of the day, choice will be yours. You take your own decision whether you want to go ahead with my idea when it came to select the materials or anything, or you want to do your own. You brought so many, you opened the doors for us from like your building material experts, the companies who supply excellent ones. I still regret not getting the outdoor tiles from, I forgot the name of the company, but the idea you brought for the outdoor.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love those tiles in first go only. And later when I realized that I should go ahead with those tiles only, those tiles were out of stock. I still regret why I did that day only. I did not finalize those tiles.
It's okay. Those things happens,
So you are not only bringing, you're not only designing the house. You are bringing us the best quality material, best of best. When it comes to making a selection for the like tiles or curtains for sake, or for the lights or everything, whatever house requires, you bring that to us. So that's why I will be always grateful to you, and I will always regret that why I in some aspects I was not agreeing with you, and I did not go ahead with your ideas. But all in all, I will say it was a very happy journey with you. At least there were many hiccups, but definitely with other people, but you were there throughout that time, from day one to day end, and the process with Black Interiors was excellent.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I think that I really, really appreciate you sharing, because those concerns are always the concerns that many of our clients have. And but yeah, let's just thank you.
Thank you, Kayo. Thank you for having me.